Hi, this is Zach Anderson, and today I will be going over coding problem 1.3. Per usual, let's begin by defining the problem. So as we have it stated here, assume S is a string of lowercase characters. Write a program that prints the longest substring of S in which the letters occur in alphabetical order. Please use this string here. To test your codes, your program should print this message along with this substring. In the case of ties, print the first substring. So for example, if our string was now this, then if all goes well, the program should print this message along with this substring. So let's head over to Colab and see how to do this. So first, we're going to be testing the longer substring as we see here. This is commented out temporarily just so we can test it later on, which I will get to later in the video. But let's start here. So first, we initialize our string. So just the string that we were provided with in the problem, we just bring it on over here and make sure that's initialized and good to go. Next, we initialize three different variables. So max length, current, and longest. So this max length variable keeps track of the length of the longest substring that we find at that point in time, so just so far along as we're iterating through that entire string. The current variable is the variable that's going to store the current substring that is in alphabetical order, and this is set to start at the index position of 0, which is going to be this A, and that's important because it'll make sure that we hit all the values in this string. And the longest variable is the one that holds the longest alphabetical substring found. And it is also set to the first value of the string to make sure that we can go through all of the values here. So we have it into three different blocks here. So block 1 is going to be for checking alphabetical order. Block 2 is going to be for updating the longest substring. And block 3, which is just an else statement, is for resetting in case some of these conditions aren't met. And I will get to that shortly. So first, in order to iterate through the entire string, we are using a for loop here. So for I in range of the length of S minus 1. What this minus 1 is going to do is going to stop our iteration at the second to last value, which is in this case is going to be this K right here. And we want to do that because if we look down one line, we see that our if statement is using an I plus 1 method in order to compare one value to the next. So in order to accurately get all the values we need, we can stop it here at this K, because this I plus 1 will then read this L and ensure that we scan through all these values to get the most accurate substring possible. So what we're going to do in this if statement is all it's doing is checking if the next character is greater than or equal to the current character. And then if this is deemed true, that means that the characters are in alphabetical order, which means then we're going to move down to here. This line right here is basically just adding that character that met this above condition to the value of current. So in this case, this would be, it's reading Z is in alphabetical order with A. So it would be adding the Z to the A, and then the current substring would now read AZ, if that makes sense. So once this block is executed, we come down here, and this is where we're going to be updating the substring. So a little wordy here, but bear with me. So this is measuring that if the length of the current substring that we have, so the current alphabetical substring that we have, if it is greater than max length, which is the variable that is holding the longest substring that we have at the moment, then it's going to update the max length variable to that new length of current, and then it's also going to update longest to the current substring. So it's basically just equating everything with each other to make sure that we have the accurate substring at the time. So our final block is going to be this else statement. So basically it's a simple if the next character is not in alphabetical order, it means the sequence is just going to kind of cut short and it's going to reset and start over. So as we can see here, like if we were to continue with the AZ example and then it would read C, it would be like, oh, that's not in order. So that's when this block would execute here and reset where we start. We have our print statement down here with our message saying that the longest substring in alphabetical order is, and then we print this variable longest. And if we remember, longest was the variable that held the longest alphabetical substring found. Now that we have successfully seen that the longest variable holds the value we are looking for, BEGGH, which we can triple check by coming over here and making sure these values line up, we can now test in the case of ties. So over here, we are going to switch out what is commented out and what is not. So let's comment out this string and activate this string, which is ABCBCD. So just looking quickly, we see that A, B, and C is an alphabetical substring, but so is B, C, and D. So there's two substrings in there that would work. The point of this is going to be to print the first substring. So if all goes well, this means we should get this value printing. So if we come over here and test it, you see how we get ABC. Thank you for watching.